everybody, CT Hippo here. Tonight's video may look just a little different, or it may not, I don't actually know yet. Tonight I'm talking about the cameras I use. And in order to talk about the cameras I use, I can't use these cameras to make this video. So I'm using another camera, which might look different. We'll see how this all works out. So, this is my big box of cameras. This is what I use for the videos, obviously. And I want to talk a little bit about the different kinds and what they're useful for. The most common / expected ones are, of course, the GoPros. I've got, these are both GoPro Hero 2s, a few generations back, but these things are bloody expensive, and the older model works just fine. I think the current model is the 5. These do have a couple of disadvantages. They changed battery technology along the way someplace, so whereas with these I have to use the battery backpack, which is an additional battery. Show you how these guys work. I forget which one's easier to get open. They are waterproof, they are indestructible in their case. I saw a video the other night of a GoPro sitting on the ground 25 feet from a solid rocket booster that was being fired. And it took it like 5 minutes to melt. So, gives you some idea of just how durable they are. This is the actual camera itself. And then this is the housing. Both of my housings have these called floaty backs. They're just stick-on floats. The idea being that if it gets ripped off of a boat or a mount or whatever, this will float the camera. Works pretty well, actually. But the GoPros, this is the actual physical camera. It's got the camera, the 2 buttons that run it, memory card, HDMI output, USB for charging, microphone in, audio out, of which I use like 2 of those. And then they've got interchangeable backpacks. This one's a battery backpack. It's got an extra battery in it, so it doubles the battery life. There are other ones. There's an LCD backpack that has a screen so you can actually see what you're shooting. There's a Wi-Fi backpack that allows you to turn the camera on and off remotely from a little remote control clicker thing. With the Hero 2, I should specify, with the battery backpack, I can get about an hour of record time. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to change these batteries, and so basically I just keep in mind I can get an hour of video and then I'm done. Time to recharge or to go do something else for a while. So they go in the cases here. These little inserts are, let's kind of see them here. These little inserts are moisture absorbers. They keep the inside of the case from fogging up. Not only are they pretty cheap, but they're nice because they're reusable when they get saturated with water, and these are starting to get close. Put them on a plate, throw them in the microwave for 5 minutes, let me dry as a bone, go right back to work. And they just tuck in here on the sides, closes up like that. It's got this latch mechanism, goes on here, pops down. These are rated to be waterproof down to 200 feet. I want to get just an extra case and basically do a test and see how far down it goes before it implodes. Because like our local lake here goes down to 350 feet at its deepest. And so it would be nice to know if I can reach those kinds of depths with GoPros or if I've got to come up with something different. And I am working on the something different, but that's another story. GoPros use this kind of a funky mount system. It's got these three-pronged ones that hook into the 2-pronged ones, and then you put a screw like this through there. I'm going to do a whole video soon on GoPro accessories and mounts and so on, and which ones are useful and which ones are just kind of a waste of money. But for tonight, that's how they work. You can get, with a little creativeness, you can mount a GoPro to damn near anything, and you can use the GoPro mounts with your conventional cameras. There's adapters for that too. So those 2 are mine. I've also got, this one's Scott's. It's a Hero 3 Plus, another generation later. It has the LCD screen on it, so that you can see what footage you're getting with it. They went to a different battery technology on the 3s, and so I think you can get an hour of video time just out of the one that's in the camera without needing the additional one. I don't think I've run this one to exhaustion yet, but my impression from playing with it so far is that you get a lot better runtime out of the 3 Plus than you do out of my 2s. Though I'm also finding that you have a somewhat harder time putting the water absorbers in. You got to be careful with these that nothing interferes with the seal when you're putting them together, because if they don't, the cameras themselves are really not that durable. It's the housings that make them durable, and if something interferes with the seal on the housing, then you might as well just be throwing the camera itself into the water. And that would be bad, because, like I mentioned, these things are not cheap. A 2 like this, even now, years after they were the current model, you're still looking at well over $100 for that rig. And so, the flip side of that, though, is I've never broken one. I've broken an unbelievable number of other cameras, but I've never yet killed a GoPro. So hopefully we can keep the streak alive with that. The other cameras I use are these guys. They're Fuji XP series. This one's a... what is this one? I don't know. They're numbered from, XP20 up through XP200 or something. What's kind of funny is some of those they would make a different model number for a specific store. For example, if you went to Walmart, you'd get an XP130, but if you went to Fred Meyer, the exact same model would be called an XP120. So the XP130 was exclusive to Walmart. These very much, okay, this one's a 75, and I think this one's a 20. These very much have their place. The trade-off on these is, one, they're not quite as durable. I have killed, I don't know how many of these by mounting them on the front of my boat and going surfing. And while they'll take a lot of abuse, they will not take being flipped upside down and mashed into sand. That's just, that will kill it, game over, go buy another one. These have a narrower field of view, whereas the GoPros have a 170-degree field of view, so basically they're going to see everything in this field of view. And on the one hand, that's great when you're up close, when it's mounted this far away from you, or when it's on your head and you're moving your head around so it doesn't, move a whole lot. The downside is everything looks small and far away. And so if you're trying to go for something really dramatic, like putting it on the bow of your kayak when you're punching through waves, with the GoPro it's going to look like, yeah, okay, whatever. The Fuji will be much more impressive. The other nice thing is, because they don't have the housing, the Fujis get much better sound. This is the camera that I usually use for shooting videos. Right now I'm using my Sony DSLR. It's a lot easier to change the batteries on these. The flip side of that is these batteries are only good for about 20 minutes on a good day. Mine are getting kind of old and should probably be replaced, but still, you don't get the battery life with this that you do with the GoPro. On the other hand, if you're in a circumstance where you can change batteries, changing batteries on these guys is no problem. Changing batteries on the GoPro is a real pain in the ass. This is my XP20. It's a little older. The white balance is funky, so I don't think I have an example, but the color on this one will be a lot better than the color on this one in the same lighting. They'll be visibly different color. There might be a way to change that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't use this that much. Typically, if I'm going to bring every camera I've got, it's going to be the 2 GoPros and the 75, and that's good for most circumstances. you know, I've used this one. It's good to have around. It's kind of nice to have a camera that, you know, if I break this or lose it, yeah, okay, it was $50 on eBay. You know, I can live with that. You sort of have to treat these as almost disposable, just because of the environments where I use them and the things I like to do. I do break cameras. It's been a while. I've learned a few lessons, but it happens. And if you can't handle the possibility of breaking a $200 camera or even a $50 camera, don't take your camera with you. You know, if you're going to be out playing in surf or poking around, like even in shipwrecks or rock gardening, or, you know, there's always that possibility. And I've literally lost count of how many cameras I've broken and killed over the years. One kind of nice feature on the later ones, these the doors here that cover the batteries and the memory card have gone through several evolutions. This older one opens up like that. The problem is you get sand in there and then they leak. It'll just absolutely kill them. They went to this one where you actually have to push down and turn. Much bigger seal, more positive lock. You know, is it a huge deal? No, probably not. But if you can afford to go a little bit more upscale, that is a nice thing to have on the newer Fujis. Nikon also makes a durable camera. Haven't tried it, can't say anything about it. There's also GoPro knockoffs on the market for as little as like $35 that will fit in GoPro housings and use GoPro accessories. I've heard good things about them. Again, haven't tried them, but especially if you A, want a whole bunch of GoPros, which there's a place for that, or B, if you're doing something where you really expect to kill them, that's not a bad option. So I think that'll be it for tonight. Yeah, sometime soon I will do a video on GoPro accessories and which ones are actually useful and which ones are just sort of a waste of money.